Dying Light 2 is sort of like porn, you know? You're not in it for the plot. You're not in it for the story elements, okay? You're here for the zombies, you're here for the combat, you're here for the parkour. I've been grinding Dying Light 2 the last couple days, and to be honest, I've been having a blast. The game 100% has lived up to my expectations, but a lot of what I was worried about did end up happening. Floaty parkour is definitely just as floaty as it looked in the trailers. Combat is solid, but honestly, I don't think it feels better than the first game. But the one major problem we have to talk about is this dog shit story we've been served. Look. Dying Light 1 story was by no means incredible, but Dying Light 2 story is like Game of Thrones ending writing, but the entire time. Look, I haven't finished the game yet, but honestly, I am in absolutely no rush to understand what's happening. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I'm Treyllo. Welcome back to the brand new video, guys. First of all, I want to say thank you guys for 10K subscribers. I haven't made a video officially talking about what we're gonna do for the celebration, but I do have a surprise for 10K. I'm excited to make that video, but in the meantime, guys, I hope you do enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's get into it. So Dying Light 2 is off to a great start. We're at the point now where we can officially say it didn't flop. This game isn't Cyberpunk. This game isn't Battlefield 2042. Whew. Surprising. Jumping around buildings with friends, using dope parkour moves, putting awesome mods on weapons, it all really feels like a sequel to the first game. I gotta mention how well they did the progression system. Dying Light 2 took it to a new level by adding tons of new RPG elements to the game. We see things like upgradable armor that actually have stats that affect your gameplay, whether that's increasing your health by a little bit, increasing how much parkour XP you get when you climb, and there's 6 different pieces of armor that you can equip and upgrade, and it actually affects how your character looks, which makes it feel progressive. This is a huge step up from the first game that only had customization that was cosmetic and didn't affect anything. I might be biased because I have a I have a 3080. The graphics are fantastic. I don't know what people were talking about in the reviews saying that the graphics were a downgrade. I feel like people just don't have eyes. The graphics are fantastic. They're vibrant, they're visually pleasing and diverse depending on where you are in the game. I was really messing with that beginning prologue area where you were in the outskirts and the wilds and shit. It was a great place to display how beautiful the game was. Tagging on to the RPG elements, I also really like the looting system. It's really similar to the first game, but I feel like there's a lot more interactables. You can open up all the closets, all the fridges, all the drawers, all the trash cans. You can loot all the zombies. There's little strongholds you can enter. They're just full of loot. It really feels rewarding when you clear out one of these areas and you can loot all these gold chains and valuables and sell them for money. So overall, yeah, I mean, Dying Light 2 is pretty cool. There's nothing really wrong with it. Before I get into the negatives, I'll rate the game. Dying Light right now for me is a solid 8 out of 10. This is where people in the comments start to get mad. Starting off with the floaty parkour. In no means, in any way, is this a deal breaker. Yes, it's actually floatier than I thought it was going to feel. Immediately when you start off the game, it was actually pretty normal, but you unlock an ability called high jump, which is the first parkour skill you unlock, which makes everything feel floaty. You hold down space, you literally fly, and there's certain abilities in the game that literally make you glide across the air. Now, it is lore that your character is basically a super genetically modified human. So in theory, yes, this makes sense, but sometimes I do feel as if it affects the flow of the parkour. Even though you can be more precise, it also feels like it's less precise. Another problem I do kind of see with Dying Light 2 is the nighttime. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what they did with the nighttime by making quests that kind of incentivize you to go out during night and complete objectives. In turn, though, I do feel it lost the fear of being night. I don't really know how to explain it, but it didn't feel like nighttime was as much of a different game as I anticipated. Even with the chase system, with chase levels increasing as you become more loud and as you attract more zombies, it just doesn't feel as terrifying. It just doesn't feel as dangerous or lethal, and I'm not really sure why. But like I said, it's fine because at night there's a ton of things to do and it's just a different part of the game. Next, I want to talk about the combat. I personally definitely think it's a downgrade from the first game. Like I said in the previous trailers before the game even came out, the weapons just don't always feel connected to the target, especially when using weapons that slash. Literally just feels like you're kind of scathing through them and not actually going through them. I've made this point several times, but it looks as if it's still in the game. Also, some of the weapon sound effects are really bad when you're hitting a zombie. When you're using wooden weapons or some of the blunt weapons, it doesn't even really make a sound when you hit a zombie. So it's really unsatisfying to connect hits. It just doesn't give you that same bashing feel that you got in the first game. It's also noticeable that some of the parkour combat moves, even though they are dope, don't get me wrong, and going into slow motion and kicking a zombie in the face is dope, some of them feel a bit wonky, some of them feel a bit janky. It's just a little it's just not always fluid. There's not really a way to describe this, but it feels delayed almost. I think with the whole combat system over the next few months, there should be some polishes here and there just to make things feel a little bit more well-rounded, or just closer to what the first game had going for it. Like I said, you can see it in a video, but when you're playing, you can really feel it. Okay, now let's talk about this shit show of a story. I have never been so uninterested in my life. You know what I do during the cutscenes? I look at my phone. Sometimes the game will just have you talking to random people over and over and over again to find a person who's right next to you. You need an item, so someone will tell you, okay, go get it from Bob. You'll run over to Bob, but before Bob gives you that item, he needs you to go talk to 2 people who also need things. Every single one of those people has a 35-page textbook to explain to you before they can give you the item or the quest. So you're constantly running back and forth, listening to dialogue that is uninteresting, and you're wondering why your character is even doing it. It doesn't help that Aiden has, how do I say this? 0 personality. Kyle Crane also was a pretty monotone dude, but it felt like he had feelings. Kyle Crane was a badass. Aiden just kind of feels like a white dude. Just a regular guy who's just out here. Generally, he's always speaking in the same tone. His backstory's mid, and it's not that he's unlikable, it's just that there's not really a lot to like about it. I mean, going through the main quest is a drag. Honestly, the side quest missions are more captivating than anything the main story's offered so far. I'd rather talk to some girl who lost her scarf on a water tower than talk to this dude Barney in the game one more time. They really sold the bag. They really sold the bag on making a good story. But like I said, that is also not a deal breaker, I guess. Unless you're someone who really needs a good story to be immersed. In which case, this game probably wasn't for you anyway. But there's no really point of trying to, talk about it because it can't really be fixed. It's not like they're gonna patch in a new story or update a new story into the game. I guess we'll just have to see what the DLC content has. But I wouldn't look forward to it. Overall, as I said, Dying Light is an 8 out of 10 video game. Filled with sandbox fun, filled with all different types of unique open world events to explore, Dying Light 2 serves as a very good successor to the first game. Even though it is downgraded in many areas, there's no doubt that it's a truly upgraded sequel. I feel like there's a lot of people hating on the game for reasons that shouldn't be hated on, but I wouldn't listen to any of that, and I would listen to the fact that if you liked the first game, you are very likely to like this game. And let's just be grateful that it wasn't trash. Okay, this game is a AAA game. When was the last time a good AAA game came out? Let's be happy that they gave it to us with what they promised. Let's hope that they continue to fix things and make the game better. Let me know what you guys think of Dying Light 2 down below in the comments, if you're liking it or not so far. Without further ado, guys, I'm Treyllo. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.